Hello, guys. It's me, Katrina. Okay, it's been a while since I went live, but I had the most amazing energy shift happen. Like this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like God tapped me on the shoulder, and I've been going through kind of wild for a while, and oh, all right, I'm now live. um, I've been with somebody for over a year. And in the June July crescendo, all the crazy shit started to happen that usually happens with me and any of my boyfriends at the time, or whatever. It's all part of a ritual with the moon goddess and the horn god and all that stuff. So, but beyond that, um, I basically uh, I've had a lot of wisdom come concerning this situation where I had a major betrayal from him back in August. And Friday the 13th, August the 13th, we were supposed to move in together, and we were supposed to basically, fix his house up and do everything. And he emailed me that night and said that we were not friends anymore. And he accused me of having a man in my house, and he claimed he had some kind of recording device, but it's never happened. I've never had anyone in my house. So the weirdest shit, it was on Friday the 13th, which is the day of the divine feminine. And I'm finding that a lot of my attacks have occurred on Friday the 13th, where it will be like a start of a ritual cycle. And I remember something, um, I'm kind of all over. I'm trying to keep it this. I have a lot to talk about. Okay, so basically, about an hour ago, I'm sitting here. I'm upset about everything. It's obvious that the guy who's basically been living with me for a year is out with somebody else, and he's not really hiding it at all. He's staying at his own house tonight. But this started, I don't know, about a month or so, 2 months ago. But really, the cheating, weird stuff and the second phone started about June. Um, the weird thing that just happened is that I'm upset about this whole situation. I'm crying and I feel betrayed. But then I realized that I manifested this entire situation, that this is actually something that I wanted to happen. And like, I know that that sounds crazy, but this guy literally, from the minute that I met him, he was at my house all the time. He pursued me really hard and would be at my house at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning, bringing me flowers and plants and anything that I wanted, just visiting even before we started going out. But he was around for a while beforehand, would stop me when I was doing gardening and try to talk to me all the time. So it went on for a while. Um, and then eventually we hooked up together, and from that point forward, he was at my house 3 times a day. He would leave my house early in the morning. He would come back about noon, 12:30, and then and then come back home from work at like 5 o'clock. And I was like, okay, I loved him, but he was dipping into my life where I'm used to being alone for forever, and I'm used to having my own time. And you guys know I do lives and I do activism mostly at night. I'm just more creative at night. Well, he'd be here every single night. And whenever I would request a night off, so I could do my kind of the work that I do, he would he would have these like weird conniption fits and shit about me wanting to be alone, thinking that I had a man over, that I was cheating, when I actually just wanted to finish my schoolwork in peace. And it's creative schoolwork, it's interior design and that. And so he would leave my house and then come back about 11:30 at night and just make a scene, and thinking that I had someone over. But then I would be so upset that I couldn't focus on doing my videos. I couldn't focus on doing my schoolwork. And then he would just end up spending the night. Now, I'm pretty skilled at knowing when I'm being manipulated and gaslighting and narcissism and all of that. And I kind of picked up on these red flags kind of early on, but he has a very sweet demeanor about him and he's very helpful and he is not the worst of them. He literally, anything that I ever needed, anything that I ever wanted, he would provide it for me. You know, if I needed to go somewhere, anything, he was very good. He would bring me groceries all the time, just because, you know, and he was very doting in that, and that would kind of weigh out the weird possessiveness in that. And now I realize that that was all a manipulation. You know, it was a grooming manipulation basically for what was going to come later, and basically getting codependency started. And I told him, I'm sorry, that this was becoming codependent. It was weird, and it's almost like he knew exactly what he was doing. But either way, he's not the worst that I've had. You know, he actually, there's somewhere in there he cares about me. I know this, but I realize that I manifested all of this because I prayed to God probably back in May or so that I would, you know, that he would just kind of chill the fuck out and let me, like, you know, have a couple nights to myself and do things that I need to do. And the first time around with the weird behavior and then, you know, ghosting me with the house and, you know, just basically telling me I couldn't move in the house with him after we had already sourced everything. Then I found out too that he was telling people that we weren't together in his section of our gated community, and we were very much together all summer, and there were people who thought that we broke up. So apparently, every time that he would meet someone new, then all of a sudden I could have nights off. All of a sudden, you know, things like that. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm just like, this probably isn't one of my best videos. It's not, I don't know. I just drank coffee and I'm back on keto, so I have a lot of energy. Um, but anyway, I realized that this has all been manifested by me because I prayed to just basically get myself back together. You know, when I met him, I was in top form. I had lost 60 pounds. I had been, you know, basically built a whole garden. Everything was going really beautiful and great. And my friend Rachel in the neighborhood, she goes, the other day, I told her, I said, well, yeah, him and I are like not really much of anything anymore. And I go, his mother told me that he was basically, you know, cheating. And then I figured all this other shit out. And and she said, well, honey, your health is completely deteriorated. And I'm like, I know, because he lives on Pepsi and cigarettes and sugar and all that, and he would trigger me emotionally, and then I would start to overeat again, and I would start to eat junk food again, which is something that I didn't do for a long time, and I maintained that 60-pound weight loss for a year, so without any problem. But then when I met him, it was like a mixture of emotional abuse and mental manipulation, and then him just bringing me food all the time, and knowing that I can only really eat chicken and broccoli and, you know, just meat and vegetables and fat and that's it. And he would bring chocolate ice cream to my house, and he would bring pop to my house, and I can't have either of them. Those are like my kryptonite. And eventually I would just, like an alcoholic or a drug addict, I would relapse and I'd be drinking Pepsis and I'd be, you know, like eating shit all the time and junk food, and that wasn't me. But I realized that there was a lot of skilled manipulation in this. Um, but I realized that I prayed for all of this. Him going out and doing what he's doing right now as we speak is in complete alignment with God's plan for me, because now I can do my schoolwork and I can get back in touch with all you guys again. You know, I as soon as I met him, it's like I don't talk to anybody anymore. I don't even know what's going on in the TI community. I was too busy trying to fake like I had a normal life, and it's not true. And then two, I also realized that in this particular attack and the one before, in order for them to physically kill you, they have to kill off the heart chakra. They have to weaken the heart chakra so much through heartbreak that, and I thank my friend Max Spears for this information. Um, and as I look back at Max's situation, they did break his heart because his girlfriend at the time was messing with one of his enemies, Sean Stone, and that upset him, and that can break your heart. And all they need is a bit of weakness in the heart in order to do this. So I had realized that this betrayal that my boyfriend was flaunting and not really hiding and trying to make it seem like this girl was better, or it doesn't even matter if they're better, they're just something different. Basically trying to flaunt this kind of stuff, and then just basically trying to break my heart so they could do an attack on me and probably try to physically take me out. And they generally don't attack my heart too much. They haven't had much opportunity over the years because I've been very independent. So I let my guard down, and now I realize that they went after my heart, basically. And what they try to do is they go after the solar plexus and the heart chakra, and they pull out your willpower and who you are and your essence is in your solar plexus, and then your heart and your emotions are here. And that's why, in the Bible it talks about not letting the heart deceive you, because when Satan enters, he enters the heart. He doesn't enter the mind, he enters the emotional state. And if he can control your emotional state, then he can make you kill yourself. He can make you do stupid things. He can make you, by manipulating the heart, he can make you drink, do drugs, act recklessly. And, but not, I didn't fall for it. I basically got a whole download of what was going on. And it had been going on for about a week. And I told my boyfriend, I said, I feel like the network is going after my heart, like trying to cause a heartbreak and trying to hurt me and make me jealous, with this situation, or make me crazy, because a lot of what they do too is re-traumatization. And the situation that I'm in now with this guy is the exact situation that I spent 3 years in with this guy I was with in Kenosha 10 years ago when they started my targeting. And it was the same cheating. It's the same crew of guys, same everything, same manipulation. It's just everything. So, and I know that they are trying to humiliate me in my neighborhood, but I'm not going to be humiliated. I'm not the one that went out and cheated. I'm not the one that acted shameful. The one who acted shameful is the one who's going to be humiliated, not me. I'm an innocent bystander. I just had some fucking guy in my house, that like pretended to love me and breadcrumb me and just kind of waited until, this time of year, Christmas time or whatever, which is like Saturnalia and that, just to come in and break my heart completely because he wasn't successful the first time during August. So he came back probably September or so. But I realized, why'd you let him back, Katrina? Well, now I realize I had to let him back so I could see the full extent of the betrayal and the bullshit around me, because before I was still like in an illusion as far as, what he was doing and what the truth was. But I've actually had people confess stuff to me about what he was doing, or give me a heads up. Like, hey, you might want to get to know him a little bit better. Other people. And then apparently there was some kind of a thing about using people for money, using women for money. He didn't really get any money out of me, but in my situation, I'm an MK Ultra Beta. So there's always money to be made off me where, it's pretty much, I can't ever really escape that. So, but I don't know. this is a really crazy situation, and it's hard, you know. But I'm grateful, honestly, for the fact that he was usually very nice to me, and like I said earlier, anything that I ever needed, he would take care of. Anything that needed to be fixed at my house, he would take care of. Anything in my garden, if I ever wanted plants or flowers, he would always buy me anything that I wanted. And in that respect, he did take good care of me. Um, but it, you know, I got a taste of a somewhat normal life for a while. You know, like, oh look, we're going to Walmart and Home Depot. But oh, another thing that I realized too is that when they do the heartbreak, um, what they try to do is if you're like a targeted individual and you're being honeypotted, they'll never take you out to like nightclubs or bars or stuff like that. They'll take you out to like, you know, some Mexican restaurants or something, you know, once in a while. But mostly your life will be like going to Walmart, going to like the grocery store, you know, just basic normal errand kind of things. Um, and then it seems a lot of them just have a whole other life at the bars. And you meet somebody, like when I met him, I was told by people in the neighborhood that he had been alone for 15 years. And he said he hadn't dated anyone in 15 years. And he had some kind of a situation with a girl here in the neighborhood a couple years ago, but it only lasted 4 days. And it was a disaster, according to him, which I later found out was a lie. And she was still around, and found out a lot of things, and it was really all kind of fucked up. And so basically, they'll portray themselves to be like single dads, guys that never really get out. They never date. So you never really suspect like them to ever be at a nightclub, you know, or going out with other women because they seem so kind of boring in a way where they just go to work and come home and eat dinner, and then like you only really go to Home Depot and Walmart together. Like once in a while you might do something, but not like, but they save all those activities, so when they're breaking your heart, you'll find out that this guy has taken whatever other female out to, like, you know, bars and restaurants that you wanted to go to, or they did activities with them that you maybe asked them to do, and it's part of the devaluing process, because they never, when they go into the relationship with us, MK Ultra and Unity Traffic Girls, it was never about having any kind of long-term life with us, or, you know, it was always set up to be a betrayal after betrayal after betrayal, and mind fuck after mind fuck, until hopefully they get us to kill ourselves, but it's not happening. um and it's and I realized from this one and the one that I had 10 years ago, because I would hear about him going all kinds of places, and he never took me anywhere. And it's not like I'm unattractive. I'm a really pretty lady, you know, and like I dress well, and I have like, you know, like I'm a hot chick, you know, and my weight fluctuates and stuff. Right now I'm up, but whatever, I'm still a hot chick. So there's no reason that somebody wouldn't want to have me seen on their arm, you know, and that used to bother me, but it's part of killing your self-esteem. Like they make you think, and then you never really know who the other girl is. You don't know what she looks like. Usually they're younger, but these days younger doesn't mean anything. I'm 44 and I look young as hell. So I can compete with the younger girls because I look like them. I don't know. I remember the last, it was, I was 34 years old, 33, 34, when I went through this before. And they used to tell me I looked old and that I looked ugly. Now, if I look like this at 44, do you think that I looked bad at 34? No. And what they were trying to do is just break me down. They literally have a cookie cutter thing where they triangulate you with younger females that you never really see. And then when you see the girls, they're not even like, they're nothing special, you know. So, but I don't know. Like, I realize that this is just one big attack on my heart. And I learned a lot in this situation. And I also learned I need to get back, to my schoolwork and get back to working and get back to everything that I wasn't doing before, and take this blessing of this betrayal, which was supposed to kill me and supposed to break my heart in a thousand pieces, and these misogynistic fucking clan members, pretty much that's their whole goal, is to kill off the divine feminines, or basically keep them in some kind of they've referred it to a zoo or an animal farm where they're raped and beaten on a constant basis. um, and then for some reason, I have some kind of clan members that have come after me. And I found out that the person that I'm with would text me KKK sometimes. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that about? And he claimed it was some kind of an accident. And I have screenshots of all this. And part of his flaunting of this new one, a couple months ago, he had a whole new vernacular where he was talking and saying no bueno, no bueno, like no good in Spanish. And he all of a sudden had all this Spanish talk. So I wonder if this girl is not a fucking target for the Klan, because what they like to do is take, from what I've learned about this, and there's a lot of fake patriots in the patriot movement that are actually just communistic actors, basically. They're part of all of this. And what they're doing is they're taking minority girls, and you'll notice that the Laredo, Texas, all the way up to Duluth, Minnesota, is the route basically for their human trafficking, and they do a lot of Native American women, and a lot of Hispanic women get trafficked on that particular route. And it's done by a lot of white men that are of a Klan kind of a nature, or some kind of a white supremacist type. And we have some in our targeted individual community. And I've had the pleasure of being courted by a few of them, and they were absolute fucking maniacs. And they all wanted babies with me. And what this is personally what I believe. I believe that they're hooking up with minority women, like Hispanic women or Native American women. These white Klan members, they have a baby because they always want to have a baby with us. And basically, because the baby's not pure white, traffic it, but do it like in the immunity trafficking system. And I think that was what was done with me also. As I'm learning about who has targeted me, I can see, going back many years, this group's influence. Now, my family are not like Klan members, okay? They're not like, but I believe that there's an influence of this around some things that have occurred. And there's a lot of Confederate flags. I call them the Confederate Flag Club. It's just really weird. The whole thing is weird. It's scary. I don't know. So, but that's what I've been up to. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still kind of sad about this situation. That I'm going through, because I'm going to miss my friend, when he was my friend, and he's obviously not my friend anymore, and I don't think he had any plans on being good to me from here on out. So I'm not really losing anything. It's not like, okay, I lost a guy who, is breadcrumbs me and fucks with my head and makes me think that he's going to protect me, in a home somewhere. Oh, and then the best part of the heartbreak plan is now all of a sudden he's claiming he has to move away. And we haven't finished the house. And he's going to lose a lot of money unless he finishes the house. But it's almost like he's moving away so he can so he can take this girl with him. And he's moving at the speed of light and trying to get rid of his house and get the hell out of here. So I wonder if the girl's going to end up being pregnant or something, or if he's going to get knock her up. Because when I met him too, he tried to get me to move to Nashville with him. So who knows? We'll see. But thank you for who's viewing. I'm going to go now. I just wanted to check in, and this has kind of just been my epiphany for the night. Bye.